grant bill into a special call meeting of City Council. And Mr. Mallory, would you lead us in invocation if we could stand for that and remain standing and join me in the pledge?
Let's vote for the prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to be out as mayor, council, citizens. Father, we thank you for watching over and blessing our town, Father. We pray for your guidance and presence in this meeting tonight, Father. We pray you bless this meeting. We look to you for guidance in our decisions to come together in unity. We pray for guidance for our mayor, our council, our city manager, our city attorney. Father, we pray you bless each one that came this way, bless the families and homes. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, now this is a special call meeting for discussion on veto that I issued on ordinance number 2019-04, amending section 3.5 of the charter, and discussion on amending resolution number 2015-01, the travel policy for the city. Mr. Appreciate.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. This special meeting was called by two council members for the two items that you presented. And the first one is discussion decision on the veto of ordinance number 2019-04, amending section 305 of the charter.
Do you have anything to say about it, or is that it?
No, sir, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, who asked? Which
Well,
two?
I asked for it, and I think we need to hear from the attorney based on the email that he sent.
I sent you an email and attached section 2.06 of the charter and ordinance 2018-06, which was adopted in October of last year and amended section 2-23 of the code. The section 2-06 of the charter sets out the mayor's power to veto legislation, and as a part of that, states that ordinances or resolutions vetoed by the mayor shall be considered at the next regular meeting of the council. And of course, this is not a regular meeting of the council. The ordinance 2018-06, section 2-23 of the code says that the regular meetings says the second Monday night of each month shall be designated as a work session, and the fourth Monday night shall be designated as a regular city council meeting. I think this is not a regular meeting at which the charter would allow any action to be taken by the council relating to the mayor's veto of the ordinance.
All right, so we have to do this, so a call meeting can't substitute for a regular meeting.
Well, I think it can substitute for a regular meeting, but it can't be in addition to a regular meeting, because if section 2-23 says if a work session or regular scheduled meeting falls on a holiday, or it is determined that the time for the meeting is inappropriate, city council should set an alternate date and time for each meeting. So I think you could substitute that meeting, but you can't have another meeting in addition to. So for instance, I think section 2-23 allows the council to say our regular meeting, we're not going to have our regular meeting on the fourth Monday night of certain month, we are instead going to move that regular meeting to another night. I think you can do that.
All right, so we are back to, so in other words, tonight we can't deal with this veto. That's my understanding based on what you said.
I think this meeting was called under the provisions of the charter for a special called meeting, and therefore would not allow any action by the council relating to the veto. That's correct.
Okay, I have a question. So if we go, we finish this special call meeting
Yes, sir.
and we don't address this,
Yes, sir.
and we go into our work session,
Yes, sir.
you or nobody else can label that work session a regular meeting,
No, sir.
okay?
All right, so we are back to two of our members going to Savannah during the fourth Monday. So we're back to needing to move that meeting so that we can have a full council here and address the veto. And
Certainly.
I want to make a motion.
Well, you can't do that.
You
You can't do that because that's not on the agenda for the
Call me.
special call meeting.
All right, well, we haven't even approved this agenda.
Well, but only the things that are in the call can be addressed in the meeting, and that was only the veto.
Two items, because it's a special call meeting.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct.
Thank you.
But what you're saying is we can't, technically, we can't move forward. It was the will of the council to change the 3.05 ordinance. I think there were some current concerns and the reasons this special call meeting was called, because tonight was a work session. We didn't want anybody coming along later saying, well, y'all already had a meeting, you didn't address it. Can't do it now.
Oh, so this is not, the work session is not a regular meeting and would not have been the appropriate time to address it either.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but then these two items would move to the regular meeting on June the 24th. That would be the first regularly scheduled meeting.
At this point, that's right, that meeting has not been rescheduled any other time, so they would be, they could be on the agenda for that meeting.
And if there was a quorum, they could have the meeting.
Well,
But you've got to have 3 votes to override the veto, and you're going to have someone in a position they can't vote. So that's not gonna, the will of the council will not be responded to at that meeting with only 3 of us here.
Well, if somebody can preside over the meeting,
That person can't vote.
but there's nobody, the charter provide, the only two people that the charter provides that can preside over a meeting are the mayor and the mayor pro tem.
So we need to call a special call meeting to move our regular meeting to an appropriate date where the full council has an opportunity to attend.
You could do that. You could have a
Okay.
special call meeting to consider moving your regular June meeting to another date. Yes, sir. You could do that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next item on there is the travel policy.
That can't be considered either.
Why not?
Can't be considered, but it can be discussed, I guess.
Why not?
I just
Well,
thought,
if it's involved, if that's what y'all decide to do, it would involve the changing of an ordinance, which has to go through the process.
Right,
It's not an ordinance, it's a resolution.
resolution. We can handle this at this meeting, can we not?
I think this meeting was called for the purpose of addressing that issue, so.
Correct.
And there's nothing in the charter that would prohibit that I'm aware of.
But the original, was the travel policy, is that just a resolution or?
Yes, sir, it was adopted,
As a
if you look at your,
was adopted October the 15th, 2015.
by resolution.
Okay.
I have a motion. Did you say go ahead and make it?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a motion that we change the, create a resolution, change the resolution or create a new resolution of 2015-01 travel policy, removing the last paragraph so that travel by elected officials will not be, will be voted on and considered by the full council as opposed to the way it is now where it's exempt. Remove the paragraph, I'm not wording this very well, but remove the last paragraph of that resolution so that it all, travel comes to the council. That's my motion.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, do we have questions or discussion?
Mr. Mayor. I believe that we do ourselves an grave injustice when in previous times, city council members who had a desire to do so could go to attend the GMA convention. It is a time for networking, as we forestated, and gaining insight from all the different people who attend. When I was first elected and we attended the GMA convention, I learned a great deal, and one of the things that I learned, I believe will be very beneficial to our city. However, we have to have city council people who want to share your vision and work with you to implement it. So I'm going to meet with the manager and mayor once I find the person who I believe could help to spearhead this situation and bring it to them. And then I will bring the, once we work out all the ins and outs, I will bring it before my colleagues in a work session. If we have city council people who, for whatever reason, have no desire to attend this convention, they have that right. But I think that we who want to attend and bring back valuable information to the city to help us to grow and be better, I don't think we need to be voting on the council approval. We hire people and we send them to classes, and they come back. We hire them, sometimes they don't have experience, but we hire them and get them experience. And so you're saying before you hire a person and send them off to school to get experience, but you don't want to, you have to approve for the city officials who was elected by the citizen. We have to have the approval of the council before we can go and bring back invaluable information from other cities. Many people from different places in Georgia attend this convention, and these classes are truly very rewarding. So I don't know how this is gonna work out tonight, or who's gonna vote, or how it's gonna be. But I believe God above knows that we don't need to be having to vote for and give an approval for the mayor or the mayor pro tem, whoever it is, or all the city officials who wish to go or don't want to go. We need to be able to go. If you hire people and they go to classes, we should be able to go to classes as well. Because some people could look at this as being discriminating, and we don't want that. So that's my
Anybody else?
opinion, Mr. Mayor.
I have a question and comment, Mr. Mayor. If we pass this resolution, when does it take effect? Is this done at one meeting?
A resolution can be done at one meeting, yes, sir.
But the mayor has the right to veto a resolution, am I correct?
Mayor does have the right to veto a resolution, that's correct.
And I have how many hours to do that?
Well, you have 7 days after you are the resolution has to be presented to you within 96 hours of adjournment of the meeting, and you then have 7 days from receipt of that to return it with your signature or to veto it.
Would I be allowed to amend my motion to not allow this to take effect until July 1, so it wouldn't interfere with current plans? Would I be allowed to amend my resolution?
I don't see why you couldn't do that, yes, sir.
Does the second have an objection to that?
No.
Okay. All right, so this resolution wouldn't take effect with current plans. It wouldn't take effect before July 1. I'd certainly like to say, Ms. Hines, I have absolutely no objection to you going to Savannah. I hope you gain a lot from that, and I have absolutely no objection. This is brought about because of abuse. Too many trips, a trip every 5 weeks, 6 trips in 7 months is at the city of Grantville expense, staying at the Hyatt Regency, the Ritz Carlton, and the Hilton. This has been going on for years, okay? I don't have all of the open records request yet, but this is because of abuse. It doesn't affect city employees one bit. It has been abused. It has been as a financial burden on the citizens. And all I'm asking is that the full council be notified of what's going on. Y'all aren't aware of all the trips that have been made to the Hyatt Regency and the Ritz Carlton at our expense. At some point, it's ridiculous, and the citizens are paying for it. And so that's what this is about. And again, I have no objections to Ms. Hines going to Savannah or the mayor based on the resolution I've made, but we need to know what's going on. This is our money, and the budget is over the top. It's overspent year after year, and I'm just making everybody aware of it. I'm not making the decision. The full council will now look at these trips and have a say. So that's all that's happening here. It's not a problem if it's not abused.
May I say something? I would like to just say this. I believe these trips that I guess you're referencing the mayor, I believe these trips are beneficial to the city. Now, when we say the budget is over the top and we are spending all this money, I am going to say this again. We purchased a truck for the recreation department. As we know, the splash park is closed more than it's open. It's a wonderful splash park, don't get me wrong. So we have a truck. We bought a truck just for the rec director, whoever it was at that time, to go get supplies. I would imagine that this truck stayed parked more than it is used. So why couldn't we use that truck for the code enforcement? Now we're spending money, $28,000 for a truck that could have been repaired for $2,000 or $2,500. That's just hypothetical, but it could have been. So then we hired 2 lawyers or a lawyer for $10,000. But yet we cannot support the mayor who goes to these different meetings along with other mayors from other cities. Please help me to understand. If you can spend this amount of money that I've just mentioned to ride around and do whatever, protect the city, let's just say that, then why can't we spend money for the mayor to go to these different places learn from others, it's called networking, and bring it back to the city. Now, if we have a council who is not on one accord, or is not working as a team, you may have to wait on your idea until we have a council who works as a team to get things done. When we talk about all the money that we're spending, we need to make sure that we are wise in our spending, and that we are not overspending, and that we are going to classes to make us better, to make our city better. We learn from each other. And I'm not telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. If we network more, if we work as a team up here more, you would be amazed, we would be amazed at what we could do. This council, this present council, if we worked as team players, at the end of our tenure, we could leave a legacy that could not be erased, a mark that could not be erased. So if we just get away from, let's just be fair. There is nothing wrong with going to these classes. If others go to the classes, we need to go to the classes. We want Granville to flourish and blossom, so let's get other ideas from other people and from God himself, so our town will flourish. There's nothing wrong with the mayor going to these different meetings, in my humble opinion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I do have a comment. When you speak of being fair, the code enforcement truck, the splash park, none of this has anything to do with that. Can I make a suggestion? And maybe we can work this out, word it differently. Why don't we word this resolution, is that right, Mark? It's considered a resolution?
Yes, sir.
That if anybody goes over their travel budget going to these functions, then it comes before the council. Now, does anybody see anything wrong with that? You budgeted, you got a line item budget here. If you use it up, if you want more than that, you come ask the council. Prior to that, how about it? Spend it all up in one trip. I don't care. I'm all for everybody going to these meetings. I wish I could go. Unfortunately, I have a business that kind of restricts me from going to some of them. But I want everybody. It's all education. It's networking, like Miss Ruby says. But I think maybe a good solution to this, and I ain't trying to throw a kink in anything here. I'm just saying that if once you use the money up on the budget, any dime after that should be held accountable by the council. Does it? Now, don't that make some sense to everybody?
Mr. Mayor, may I say,
Oh, we don't need applause, thank you. You done?
Well, I guess
Mr.
so.
Mayor, I need to
Well, the reason I asked, if you want another comment,
Yeah.
I didn't want
Just for the record, Ms. Lynn informed me that I need to pay $82. I will be staying, now, I have not stayed at the Ritz Carlton. I did stay at the Ritz Carlton when I was in Hawaii, but I will be staying at Holiday Inn on Bryan Street. And Ms. Lynn informed me that I need to pay $82. So I'm a taxpayer, and property owner, business owner. But I have to pay $82 for this trip that I'm going on. And I'm willing to pay the $82. Because I want to go on the trip.
Well, sure, I understand.
But next year, you need to budget it so that I will not have to pay the $82. Please.
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, y'all call me the dissenting vote, the hard guy. I'm glad she's gonna pay that $82, but you taxpayers over there that are trying to deal with what we had last meeting for a over 20% increase in our water and sewer because we need money. This trip's gonna cost well over $3,000. She'll pay the 82, but you're gonna pay over $3,000 plus gas expense and plus food. It's been abused. I don't want us to go to the budget. The abuse has been done. We can do that after we get this thing under control. But when we've got 6 trips in 7 months and staying at the Ritz-Carlton twice and the Hyatt and everything else, this is abuse. And we're certainly not opposed to reasonable travel, but the citizens of Grantville are being hosed. And so I want us to just look at it. The vote of the council will determine, but I want us to just look at it till we get this under control. It's been going on for years, and the only reason anybody's aware of it is because I went through the records and checked. And the abuse needs to stop tonight. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, we have to remember, we are taxpayers too. Okay? The citizens are taxpayers, we are citizens, and we are taxpayers. So we are helping to fund our own trip.
Okay, anybody else? All right, I just want to say that I think the citizens are being painted a picture that just is the furthest thing from the truth. It's put out here that I choose to go, or whoever chooses to go to these meetings. The meetings I attend are the Municipal Electric Authority of Georgia. They decide where the meeting will be. They make arrangements for so many rooms to be reserved. The Georgia, the Municipal Gas Authority, I go to their meetings, their business meetings. Yes, we do stay in hotels. In my opinion, they're the more expensive, but I don't have a choice in those. Okay, now, GMA, I plan on attending GMA. The hotel that I'm staying in is the Hyatt Regency at the waterfront. But I also